This program lineup is brought to you by Vision Express.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at Matson.com. Cars Plus, Guam's automotive leader in sustainability and electric vehicles. Learn more at carsplusguam.com. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
Who killed Edwin Parando and left his body behind Sumai Pub and Grill? The answer now a mystery after Jamie Netadog was acquitted by a Superior Court jury. I'm Julian Hernandez with more coming up.
A man wanted in Indiana facing child sexual assault and drug charges speaks out in open court on Saipan today. I'm Tomas Manglonio with the full story as he awaits extradition.
And you can't spell Valentine's without the word Lent. Guam's Catholic faithful starting their 40-day season of prayer, fasting, and giving this Ash Wednesday.
Half a day and good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day.
Happy Valentine's Day, Des.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Well, we lead off with a heartbreaking update to a serious crash in Barragata overnight.
Guam police confirm the cyclist hit by a car died at the hospital. The man's name has not yet been released until his relatives are notified. The crash happened around 9 p.m. Tuesday along Route 10 near Jolene Leon Guerrero Street in Barragata. Traffic
investigators say the cyclist was in the median lane, switching over to the inner northbound lane. That's when authorities say he was hit by the driver of a maroon car. Medics performed CPR on the victim before he was rushed to the Guam Memorial Hospital, but he did not survive. The crash investigation is ongoing.
Acquitted of murder, manslaughter, negligent homicide, and attempted destruction of evidence, Jamie Netadog is cleared in the killing of his friend Edwin Parando.
The jury returning with their verdict after deliberating for an entire day. Netadog appeared relieved after having spent the past 4 months locked up. Julian Hernandez has the story.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Jamie John Netadog, not guilty of the offense of murder.
Jamie Netadog now a free man. The Hoggett native spent the past 4 months in prison, accused in the murder of his friend Edwin Parando. After 3 days on trial in the Superior Court, the jury's verdict acquitted Netadog of murder, manslaughter, negligent homicide, and attempted destruction of evidence. His mother, Jessica Netadog, sharing her son's relief.
I'm very happy with their decision. They made the right decision.
Jamie was arrested after Parando's body was found badly beaten in Sumai last October. Defense attorney Peter Santos.
Jamie always had maintained complete, total, and absolute innocence.
Prosecuting attorney Sean Brown reacting to the verdict.
It's not what we wanted.
The result leaving Edwin's family still searching for answers.
I prefer not to comment at this time, but we do feel that we did not receive justice.
It's justice Jamie's mother and the defense also hope to get for the victim.
This was a very violent crime, and I hope they find him as soon as they can.
If anyone has any information about who the real killer is, if you hear somebody bragging that they're the ones that did it, or if they end up finding Ed's belongings, then contact police and let us know so that they can bring the right killer to justice.
Attorney Santos adds Jamie also wants to help find whoever took Ed's life. The jury did find Jamie Netadog guilty of unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, a misdemeanor, facing a maximum of 1 year in prison. Sentencing for that charge is set for May 16th. Now the search continues to find a killer that remains at large. Julian Hernandez, KUAM News.
A man wanted in Indiana and arrested on Saipan appeared in the CNMI Superior Court today.
Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotnio files this report as Charles Dewey III addresses the allegations during the hearing and hands a letter to the media.
Charles Lee Dewey III, who moved to Saipan in 2022 under the alias Carter Allen Widmore, appeared in Superior Court on Wednesday for a status conference. Dewey was arrested on Saipan by NMI authorities in January. He fled Indiana with at least 6 active warrants dating back to 2020 for cases involving rape, sexual misconduct with a minor, and drugs. Assistant Attorney General Heather Barcina says they're waiting for the extradition order from the state of Indiana and the governor's warrant.
The defendant did waive the hearing for the extradition, so as soon as all those paperwork is in place, the judge can issue an extradition order, and the Sheriff's Department, I believe from the state of Indiana, will be the one to be coming here to the scene of my case.
Back in court, Dewey broke his silence and shared his version of the story against the advice of the assistant public defender. He handed his written remarks to the media on his way out of the courtroom. In his 4 pages of remarks, Dewey apologized, saying sorry to anyone who feels deceived or lied to. He says he's the victim of a crime and was framed. Dewey said he ran away because he did not believe he would have a fair trial. He wrote, "I just want my life back." Dewey is set to appear in NMI court again later this month. Tomas Manglonia, KUAM News, Saipan.
Defendant John Hattick Jr. denied the charges handed down against him in a superseding indictment. Hattick pleaded not guilty to illegal drugs and weapons possession charges in Superior Court today. Last November, the former Toronto Blue Jays player was set to take the prosecutor's plea deal, but the court rejected it. Hattick telling KUAM today he remains focused on his recovery.
I think you just got to stay strong, put your belief in God and continue to fight.
In July of 2021, authorities caught Hattick allegedly carrying a firearm along with 3 baggies of meth, Xanax pills, and a scale in a Timoning parking lot. Firefighters fighting a wildfire for several hours off of Kineni Road in Malesu today. The fire starting yesterday evening, but authorities were only alerted early this morning.
Now years of effort to reforest the project site at the Manuel watershed has been burned away. Mitsuki Hirayama joins us in studio with more.
The fight to put out the flames at the Kineni Reforestation Project site in Maleso has been going on for hours. The Department of Agriculture's Forestry and Soil Resources Chief Christine Camacho Ferheran tells us it's been burning since 6 p.m. Tuesday. Forestry firefighters were not aware of the fire until Wednesday morning. Crews were en route by 8 a.m. A video taken about 2 hours after the response showing the fire burning right behind a home in the area. There were no evacuations at the time or any threat to residences and other buildings. The full impact of the fire is still unknown, but Camacho Ferran says the whole plantation has burned. The reforestation project at the Manuel watershed has been in the works since 2015. Hundreds of volunteers, Maleso families, Guam Department of Education students, and others have spent the last several years planting thousands of native trees there. The effort to protect our coral reefs from erosion and reduce impacts of burning. Now, Forestry's wildland fire investigators are investigating the cause of the fire. The community is asked to report any information they may have regarding the fire to authorities.
Thanks, Mitsuki. Well, a reminder that a red flag warning is in effect until Thursday night.
We'll be right back.
Troy Polamalu Safety, a.k.a. the Quiet Storm. Troy's seen more out of the corners of his cold steel eyes than most mortal men have seen straight on. The last thing an offense would witness, a fury of flowing mane incoming at high speed.
Hey!
Cat-like quickness and supernatural instincts like Troy's only come once in a lifetime. And oh, how grateful we are that they came in ours. No one made the beloved burg of Pittsburgh feel quite as safe as this safety. The Hyundai Tucson with advanced safety and tech, because even safeties could use a little more safety themselves.
When ordering the best Big Mac ever made in all of Big Mac history, with more special sauce in every bite, expect some unexpected company. He does this all the time.
Introducing the bigger and better Double Big Mac, a taste sensation with 4 beef patties, Big Mac sauce, and the works. Hurry before the Hamburglar steals it away. Robble robble for a limited time only at McDonald's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back to Primetime. There's a simmering controversy over one participant to the upcoming Festival of the Arts in Hawaii. It surfaced during the confirmation hearing of Angie Taitagui as the new director of the Council on Arts and Humanities. It involves a man who will be representing Guam as a healing arts representative.
He was acquitted of rape charges in 2022, but has been the subject of a massive protest letter campaign who describe him as a sexual predator not worthy of representing Guam. Taitagui was asked about it by Senator Chris Barnett.
Senator, with due respect, I wish not to make any comment with the current issue that's on the front page of the PDN, and I have sought legal guidance from the Attorney General of Guam, Mr. Moylan. I am waiting to hear back from them before I would like to make any statement or comment at this time on that matter.
For example, if there's a group that's not happy with something and they bring it to the attention of the director, what do you then bring to the board?
Well, I would bring it to the board, and I would ask the board. I says, we need to come together. We need to decide on this matters as a group, as a body. We need to all be in consensus of this, what direction we want to go, yay or nay.
As Taitagui mentioned, she's still awaiting the advice of the Attorney General, and a decision has not yet been made by the board on the matter.
A much welcome reprieve for the local poultry farmers. The ban on the importation of live birds and eggs from the U.S. mainland has been lifted. Territorial veterinarian Dr. Mariana Turner announcing the Guam Department of Agriculture is reinstating the modified entry requirements. The U.S. poultry industry has been severely impacted by the avian influenza or bird flu. Since mid-2022, millions of birds had been destroyed.
This particular strain of avian influenza is so detrimental that it can kill an entire flock of birds in less than 12 to 24 hours. So seeing just how rapidly this particular strain was spreading, we just needed to cut it off. Normally, when avian influenza comes through, you'll see a surge and then it dies down and it's gone. Never before has it lasted a year and a half. An outbreak lasted a year and a half. Not only is it so strong and it's lasting so long, but it is also affecting so many other species.
And of course, avian flu also affects humans. The ban has greatly impacted local poultry farmers who have only been able to bring in birds from Hawaii, which is not affected by North American bird migration. Dr. Turner says the ban was briefly lifted last November, but quickly reinstated when cases started rising again back in the U.S. She says it remains a very dynamic situation and she will be closely monitoring for new outbreaks.
Well, we've seen many of those in our stories in tonight's lineup. With ashes on the forehead, the 40-day observation of the Lenten season officially begins with Ash Wednesday today.
That's right. It's a significant time for many Catholics around the world. KUAM hearing from some of those devout in the island's capital.
Catholics around the island embracing a solemn truth this Ash Wednesday. Remember that you are dust, and to dust you return. From north to south and here at the Hagåtña Cathedral Basilica, the faithful uniting in Mass for the start of the Lenten season.
We were created by Him, we were born, we were created, and we're going to return to Him, and that's what we all look forward to. It means that it's a chance for you to find your way back to Him.
It's a reminder the devout bearing the mark of the cross on their forehead or holding close to their heart as they embark on a journey of penance, reflection, and renewal. The time of contemplation and sacrifice bringing some even closer to their faith.
There's just some things that people go through in their life that really make them grateful and remember where we came from.
And with droves of people flocking to the island's capital for the special day, it's clear that this religious tradition lives on through generations of Catholics.
Since I was baptized Catholic and my mother would take me to church.
Throughout my life, Lent has always been an important time for myself and my family to take the time out to start the year right and reflect and do what we need to kind of empower us spiritually. And I think that's one of the most important aspects of Lent to myself.
Well, the season of love is here.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Whether you're enjoying Valentine's Day or some self-love for Single Awareness Day, the orders have been picking up today at flower shops like Heaven Sent in Hagåtña. Heaven Sent owner Mayor Jesse Alec also working hard to make sure each order is filled with love.
Business is good. It's been busy since yesterday. We're here all night, and we'll be here all day. It's Ash Wednesday, so I think a lot of people are kind of sacrificing flowers this year. But no, it's been good. It's been good. It's been good, and I hope everyone enjoys the flowers that we have today.
Wow, the mayor there spreading more than just love all year long. He says sales have hit over 100 orders and roughly 2,000 roses found their way to a loved one. Wow. Incredible. You got your roses today, I saw.
I got my roses today. I'm very happy.
Gave out some sweets to the crew here.
Yes. I got my Dudas cookie from Joni. I love it. We love it. And your cannoli.
I love that. A Dudas cookie.
Yeah, it was amazing. I just have to say. All right, guys, like we mentioned, it's the season of love. So each Wednesday this month, KUAM will feature a couple sharing their stories of how they've been able to make their love stand the test of time.
KUAM presents Errors of Love. Here's the love story of David and Tamoy Pil.
Presented by Heaven Sent. Special thanks to the Western Resort KUAM and the Potters Studio.
We are the Peels. I'm David.
I'm Tomoe, and we've been married 52 years.
We celebrated that last month in January on the 25th. One of the most memorable moments that we had was when Tomoe and I were dated before we got married, and we went dancing. And I was very, very pleased that Tomoe had such good rhythm. My wife had my future wife, very good rhythm. And real pleased with that because I always loved music and always loved dance.
Yeah, like same.
Navigating challenges and obstacles. Wow. I think it's communication and also listening to each other and having something in common. And thanks to dance and other activities, we had that.
Yeah, same. Like some like a compromise, and we are like we lucky we have same interests, and so yeah, trust each other, and we don't talk too much. Just the dancing and stuff we talk, but we don't do that much communicate. Yeah.
But I think we do sometime, but you do something that you love doing, like dance and some other activities, walking, running, whatever, and basketball. We both play basketball. I think that helps. It really does. In a fast pace, with new technology and all, I think communicating between the two of us is the best thing. Talking to each other, not on the phone, but face to face. Well, after 52 years, I really have to think there's been so many different things. Something that has increased our bond together. I really think dancing.
Yeah, dancing, yeah. Yeah.
Even if she's upset with me, I think dancing. It kind of puts a smile on our face and get us to talk again, even if we're kind of upset with each other. Right.
Yeah. So like if something like dancing and concentrate, forget about everything. Then after a while, we're okay.
Yes, right. Qualities and action that has sustained our marriage, I think, is being upfront and honest with each other as much as possible, and listening to each other.
See, like we are not perfect.
No.
But everything like we argue or something like that. See, everything come dance. So like my passion is dancing. Yeah. And right now, my like priority is health. Health is number one. So I want to try to tell all, like senior or people, try, be active and just active, exercise and like that. So live, for long life, healthy and long life.
Right, and I agree 100%. My wife has really shown me to kind of eat better and maintain my diet as much as possible, even though I like to eat a lot of sweets. But she is right, and I think you can have all the money in the world, but if you have poor health, it doesn't do you any good. So I think the good health is one of the positive things.
Presented by Heaven Sent. Special thanks to the Westin Resort Guam and the Potter Studio.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Here's a view captured from Jeff Pirate's Cove in Ipan.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
I know, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Yeah. Thanks, Taco Bell!
In the heart of time, friendships have blossomed and connections have grown. From the letters we wrote to the calls we made, we've laid the lines to weave our stories together. From the distant past to a brighter future, we are forging paths, bringing tomorrow's islands today.
Day 3 of the World Aquatics Championships in Doha saw Mia Lee swim in her heat in the 200-meter freestyle, one of her best events. Mia finished 7th in lane 2. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day for our team as standout Jimi Hendrix, who swims collegiately in Japan, competes in the 100-meter freestyle, with Amaya Bollinger also taking to the pool for her 200-meter butterfly sprint. Then Israel Poppy joins the mix as all 4 of our swimmers compete in the exciting mixed 4x100 medley event. You can cheer on the Guam swimmers at the World Championships live throughout the meet on Peacock.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Hi, Mom.
Time for an upgrade? Trade into Guam's most reliable network and get an extra $300 off the latest phones on any unlimited plan. GTA, we start with you.
Oh, yeah. Hot honey pizza and wings from
Pizza Wahat.
Pizza Wahat.
Pizza Wahat. Hot honey pizza and wings. It's the first new flavor to make you say, Pizza what?
All right, everybody, today in News Bites, the Senior Showcase. Let's take a look at it. It's happening at UOG, and there you go. Very nice. It is happening at UOG on March 7th through 9th at 7 p.m. Doors open a half hour earlier. You got to get tickets to get in, unless you're a UOG student. See, being a collegian has its privileges. Really, really awesome Senior Showcase featuring performances from Uel Mendiola and Xavier Borja. Make sure to check it out. Then on Saturday, down in beautiful Inalahan, the Gadao 2K and 5K. We told you about this over the weekend. It's an amazing, amazing event. The Southern Village is going to roll out all the stops. $15 only for pre-registration, $20 a day of the race. Go time is 6 a.m. Is there anything better than running in beautiful Inalahan? As long as you get to go by Papa Nidzuk store. That's awesome too. Now, the Saipan Winds Concert Band presents their spring concert for 2024. Make sure you are going to go check that out if you're up in the CNMI. It's music from cinema. I love soundtracks. Make sure to check us out. Check out the program. Phantom of the Opera, Pirates, Greatest Showman. Greatest Showman, really, really tough song to pull off. So make sure to go check it out. The Avengers had a song? Hey, that's cool. I can't wait to see what they do over there. All right, so that is what's happening today on News Bites. Destiny, could you do Greatest Showman? I'm pretty sure.
Jace also knows the assignment to wear pink today.
Period.
It's birthday wishes time.
Here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shoutout submitted on KUAM.com.
Okay, birthday babies whose day this year happens to fall on Valentine's Day. This one's for you. Happy blessed birthday to Vincent Cruz of Petey. Happy Valentine's Day, my love Lonnie and the Pareto family in Jotnya. Happy 60th birthday and happy Valentine's Day to our loving mother, Annie Manabusen, from your 3 kids, grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren. Happy birthday to Dwayne Toves and you, very deservedly. Get a birthday shout out that says, we love you. Happy 10th birthday to Chance Joseph Santos Diego with many more to come. Have a great birthday and Valentine's Day. Yes, absolutely. Many hugs and kisses. Love the Diego family from Talafofo. Christine Roberto Lujan wishing you a year of health, happiness, and love. To our Valentine, Christine, we all wish you a happy birthday and we all say we love you as well. And Kaylee Pinaula, may your life be measured in smiles, not tears. Your age and friends, not years. And may you always find what you seek while holding on to kindness. That's a great message. Good job, guys. Happy birthday to an amazing 19-year-old. Kaylee, we love you. And wishing our handsome AJ Chaco abundant blessings. Happy belated birthday, AJ. We love and miss you.
And that's your Valentine's Day primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Have a lovely evening and stay beautiful.
Ali, Mogisin, Hafide Zantiro, Rananim, Kasalele, Lengwo, and Yakwe. Welcome back to another edition of the One Micronesia Show. Here we go. I got a jam-packed show for you guys, so let's kick it off with this one. Just recently, they were on Guam to compete for their first ever Jiu-Jitsu competition. I'm talking about FSM BJJ. Check it out. Recently, the FSM Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation competed in their first outing at the 2024 Copa de Marianas that was held at the UOG Cove Fieldhouse. Coming along for the incredible experience was a team of 10 and 2 coaches. President of FSM BJJ, Christopher Alfonso, who is also a brown belt, explains how his journey in Jiu-Jitsu began.
Didn't really do that many sports. I did a few, like when I was in high school in Guam, I did paddling for like two or 3 years. But it wasn't until like my sophomore year of college that I actually started training. And, you know, prior to training, while out there in Philadelphia, I attended school in Philly, and I wasn't the best student. I actually like did everything except go to classes. It was my first time in the mainland. I just wanted to see and do everything aside from going to classes, basically. So I actually got dismissed from my university twice because of it.
Alfonso said he sought guidance from a cousin who was in New York at the time, and he suggested that he get involved in Jiu-Jitsu.
I started off training in 2016 as a New Year's resolution. And it just made me want to improve both on the mats and off the mats. So the things you learn, like discipline, hard work, and perseverance, and all the other values that come with training, like it carried over to my studies. And because of that, I was able to get reinstated into my university, and I was able to graduate. And I was also on the dean's list at one point.
He said Jiu-Jitsu did a lot of good things for him when he was in a really bad place. But when he graduated from college in 2019 and moved back to Pohnpei to work, he was bummed that there was no Jiu-Jitsu training facility in the country.
It was difficult getting a routine going because myself, I do travel quite a bit for work. I'd always pack a gi or rash guard wherever I would be sent off to for work, whether that's the Philippines, Japan, there in Guam, and just drop in wherever I can for training just to keep up with the practice. And then when I would come back on island, I'd hit up my cousin and say, hey, like I'm on island now, let's get some training in. But then he would be the one that's off island for work. So it was difficult to get a steady schedule going until the lockdown happened.
If you can recall, FSM had the longest lockdown during the pandemic, and in that time, they were unable to travel. Alfonso and his cousin helped launch a tiny club where they offered Jiu-Jitsu training.
Basically, the only 2 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners in the country, we knew that we needed to develop our own training partners aside from each other. And I knew all the good that it did for me, all the positive impact it had for me, and I'm just hoping that it does the same for our students here as well.
Fast forward, what started as a tiny club has grown to a dozen or more of dedicated and passionate Jiu-Jitsu practitioners.
We started off with just 2 students, a younger cousin of ours and his friend. And from those 2, they through just by word of mouth alone, they asked more friends to come in. So we ended up with like 12 of them total.
Wow.
And just from there, like it was something they've never done before. It was something new, and they just all stuck with it just because of how much fun they were having. And eventually, like we would open up to more and more beginners batches.
A lot of it being funded by donations and generosity of businesses and individuals, but it is through this generosity that Alfonso says they were able to expand to a 30-foot by 30-foot mat.
When we have like everyone training at the same time, we can have up to 30 people on the mat at the same time. Wow. So it just gradually and organically grew over time. And it's always been like a cool thing to just play dream a little bit, like kind of daydream that like, oh, what it'd be cool if we actually got a team out there to Guam to compete, because that's the nearest thing to us in regards to competitions and tournaments.
And although the students may have had some nerves stepping onto the competition mats at Copa de Marianas, they shook it off and gave it their all.
So total medals we got 13 medals total. We got 3 gold medals, 6 silvers, and 4 bronze medals. It was nice being able to like interact with the different coaches and the other competitors at the tournament. Like, I remember that morning that we were chatting with another team's a parent from another team. His child was competing in the tournament that day, and he saw our shirts and he was like, "Oh wow, like, are you guys a new team?" And we're like, "Oh yeah, we're from the FSM." He's like, "Oh wow, like, it's your first time coming out here for the Copa de Marianas?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it's our first time ever." Depending on who we talk to, some of them would see us and be like, "Oh, new team, like these guys are kind of like the underdogs in a way." But afterwards, at the end of the tournament, once we started racking up the medals that we collected, people were coming up to us afterwards and being like, "Wow, your team did really good for its first team outing."
Now, with their first team outing under their belt, the students go back to training and prepare for that next competition as FSM Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Biba, amazing job, guys. Keep it up.
One, two, three.
What an amazing story, and on top of that, an amazing performance at Copa de Marianas. Good job, FSM BJJ, and I can't wait to meet you guys when you guys come back to Guam for your next competition. Guys, we're going to take a break and we're back with more of the One Micronesia Show. Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
One Micronesia Show, and we're back. The spirit of the people of Micronesia shined bright in the halls of Congress at the beginning of this year. Guam leaders joined other island delegates in Washington, D.C. to talk about the Guam Host Compensation Act. The message? Guam needs support to continue their help to Kofa migrants who call Guam their home.
I begin my testimony with painting a picture of a Kofa migrant's journey into my beautiful island home. A couple with 7 children living in Chuuk makes the difficult decision to send the husband to Guam in search of better opportunities. Chuukese is his first language, and he is not proficient in English. Upon arrival in Guam, all travelers must go through customs and immigration process. He needs help understanding the forms presented to him for completion and answers them as best as he can. Upon leaving the baggage claim terminal, family or friends residing on Guam meet him, and he is excited at the prospect of one day reuniting with his wife and children in Guam. He is not accustomed to searching online for jobs, so he begins his job search by speaking with those in his social circle. After months on Guam, living with 15 relatives in a substandard wood and tin 2-bedroom home, and remaining unemployed, he finally lands a job as a yard maintenance worker and earns less than $500 a month. He slowly discovers that reunification with his family will be more complicated than imagined, and he longs for his wife and children. Out of frustration, he turns to alcohol to numb the loneliness and pain of being unable to provide the life he and his wife dreamed of for their family. He continues to utilize alcohol as a crutch, and in an inebriated state, commits an unintentional crime of vehicular homicide. He then becomes a consumer within Guam's justice system.
I want to emphasize support for compacts of free association, otherwise known as Kofas, as well as the support of our governor and Guam citizens. These agreements are critical to maintaining a free and open Indo-Pacific. They also represent America's commitment to close relations with the descendants of the former trust territory of the Pacific. Kofa migrants are our neighbors, our co-workers, and our leaders on Guam, who we do not seek to end the agreements or our relationships with the Federated States of Micronesia, Palau, or the Marshall Islands. Instead, I hope this bill will be the first step in redefining our inter-island relations and helping to build a stable, prosperous economies for all island nations in the Pacific. My bill, H.R. 6273, would seek to alleviate the stresses of this migration in 3 ways. First, by reauthorizing compact impact aid to host jurisdictions and changing the recipients to only insular areas. This is done with the understanding that CIFA will solve the issues states are facing, but will not fully solving the concerns of the insular areas. To illustrate this point, I would ask unanimous consent to enter into the records GovGuam's calculated cost of hosting migrants.
So ordered.
These numbers are regularly over 100 million annually. Meanwhile, Compact Impact, even when it existed, only sent 15 million to Guam. This disparity will only be more prevalent when Compact Impact ceases altogether. Guam will always welcome migrants looking to work hard and make good living.
We acknowledge the unintended but significant costs to Guam and other territories and states related to the Compacts of Free Association, KOFAs. According to a 2018 GAO report, after over 70 years of close social, political, economic, and cultural ties with the freely associated states, the FAS or the FAS, an estimated 94,000 FAS individuals have properly exercised their ability to travel under the compacts and now call the United States their home. This includes communities in virtually every state and territory in the country. However, we cannot support H.R. 6273. This bill would impose additional requirements for non-immigrant residency in Guam, which would place at risk our close relationships with the FAS, a cornerstone of U.S. national interests in the Pacific. Further, the intended effect of the proposed legislation on the compacts and the Immigration and Nationality Act is somewhat unclear, given that under the compacts, eligible FAS citizens do not require visas to travel to the United States, including Guam. We agree with Representative Moylan that more federal resources must be dedicated to support host territorial and state governments and FAS individuals residing in Guam and the other territories and states.
Reimbursements to the government of Guam have been insignificant. Before fiscal year 2024, Guam received between $12 million and $16 million annually from the federal government for our government's cost in providing public services and programs to Kofa citizens, and between $1.4 million to $2 million annually in Compact Impact discretionary funds. We estimate that the government of Guam spends between $132 million to 150 million each year, providing such services and programs. Therefore, I request your support for Compact Impact Funding Solutions. H.R. 1571, also known as the Compact Impact Fairness Act, CIFA, alone cannot adequately reduce the cost that Kofa migrants have on our host communities. Several local services and programs rely on Compact Impact funding that CIFA cannot cover, with education and public safety costs being the most significant.
Guam has graciously hosted our Kofa guests for almost 4 decades. In 2018, the U.S. Census Bureau officially reported that Guam has the highest number of Kofa migrants in the country, with 18,874 residents from the freely associated states, or a little over 10% of our total population. Now in 2024, the number is estimated to be around 24,000 migrants, close to 15% of Guam's population, which includes a couple of generations of Kofa American citizens. Despite hosting the most Kofa migrants, Guam still does not receive the most significant amount of Compact Impact funding. The Office of Insular Affairs allocated only $35 million in Compact Impact funding, including $5 million, which may be available at the discretion of Congress. Guam's cost alone for educating, providing health care, as well as enforcing the law and keeping Kofa migrants safe is at least $30 million annually.
Guam Delegate Moylan invited the Biden administration rep to Guam as he plans to host a town hall meeting this year, making a further push for the funding. For more on that meeting, you can go check out KUAM.com. Guys, we're going to take a break and we're back with more of the One Micronesia Show.
For the first time in 30 years, Coors Light has an ad in the big game.
Actually, this is a Miller Lite commercial.
Mountain Cold Refreshment. It's Miller time. Great taste. Less filling. Cold as the Rockies. Coors commercial. Miller commercial.
Actually, it's a Blue Moon commercial. In the heart of time, friendships have blossomed and connections have grown. From the letters we wrote to the calls we made, we've laid the lines to weave our stories together. From the distant past to a brighter future, we are forging paths, bringing tomorrow's islands today.
And we are back. On January 20th, all eyes were on the Marshall Islands as a rogue wave hits Roy Namor. We're going to find out how the recovery went, but first, KUAM's Nick Delgado gives you a look at that devastating wave.
Keep the door closed, keep the door closed. Whoa!
Where's Viv?
Whoa! What? Where's Viv? Where's Viv? Where's, you good? You good? Oh my God.
Eric Hansen captured the moment one of several huge waves battered down on the island of Roy Namor. The area is in the northern part of Kwajalein Atoll in the Republic of Marshall Islands.
Come again! Come again!
The terrifying scene unfolding Saturday night on the U.S. Army Garrison Base, where the military says they support the U.S. Space and Missile Defense Command's Ronald Reagan Ballistic Missile Defense Test Site. By Sunday morning, the military sent an air crew to conduct damage assessments from above. The aftermath showing how the water inundation washed over the northwest side of the island, flooding at least a third of it. Garrison Commander Drew Morgan took to social media to discuss the challenging days that followed the island being hit by the massive waves.
They caused extensive damage there that we're still assessing, but luckily there were only a few minor injuries.
A total of 80 of the 120 people who call the island home had to be evacuated, the others staying behind to assess the damage and restore basic services like utilities.
I have been so impressed with Team Quadra's response and the outpouring of generous community support. This is going to go down in Quadra's history books as one of its most challenging times ever in its 80-year history. We will get through this.
By Tuesday, the military reported flooding from the waves damaged much of the unaccompanied personnel housing, the dining facility, a bar and grill, the chapel, and theater were moderately to severely damaged, and the automotive complex remained underwater. Officials now doing whatever possible to recover and care for those impacted. Operation Roy Recovery in full effect. but expected to take months to complete.
Since then, the recovery of the islands, the military has conducted site surveys, and it's all hands to get the island back on its feet.
And we're going to do everything that we can to support you through this. I can't overemphasize that how important you guys are to the entire Team Quad community, and then how much that community 50 miles south here loves you and embraces you and is going to support you. The team rallied and we started to put together the picture of what was going on. And it was one of the scariest experiences that I have ever had as a leader. This is going to go down in Quad's history books as one of its most challenging times ever in its 80-year history. We will get through this, and we are settling in for a marathon of recovery ahead. It may last months or even years. But remember, we're important to our nation's security, and this is our home. We love our home. I'm proud of you, Team Quad. We're showing the world that we are truly one team.
We are sending our best to all those who were affected by the wave in the Marshall Islands, most especially in Roy Namur, and big ups to the speedy recovery. We're going to take a break and we'll be back with more of the One Micronesia Show.
Brian Dawkins, Safety, a.k.a. Weapon X. Brian laughs at audibles, laughs. For there is nothing he does not anticipate. He is never caught off guard, because his guard is always up. His skills of perception are honed like talons. Brian sees all. He knows all. Dominates all. His defensive prowess is feared the world over. The all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 5 with advanced safety and tech. Because even safeties could use a little more safety themselves. Search for your Hyundai Ioniq 5 today.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
I know, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Yeah. Thanks, Taco Bell!
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Brian Dawkins, Safety, a.k.a. Weapon X. Brian laughs at audibles, laughs. For there is nothing he does not anticipate. He is never caught off guard, because his guard is always up. His skills of perception are honed like talons. Brian sees all. He knows all. Dominates all. His defensive prowess is feared the world over. The all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 5 with advanced safety and tech. Because even safeties could use a little more safety themselves. Search for your Hyundai Ioniq 5 today.
And we're back for the last and final part of the show. It's now time for the One Mic Jam Sesh, and this one, we go back to the Marshall Islands for this amazing performance.
Kan manit